Do-do-do-do-do. Good morning, soldiers. You are listening to the sound of victory because I am Liss Victory, and you have tuned into that broadcast. We are talking about art and activism. That's AAA for your soul, baby. Let's change the world. We are broadcasting today from Manicash in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have a variety of guests coming on the show this morning to entertain you, talk about art and activism and some of the things we did while we were in town yesterday. Joining me today is Betrothed of the Show with his new title. I think that's the first time we've used your new title on the air.
Week,
Did we?
I think. Okay. Yeah, we definitely used it last week. Since we came up with it, we've used it a few times.
Last week was a blur, so I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, last week was pretty crazy. It's the third night of the First Person Arts Festival, and it was the Kondabolu show, and we did a panel discussion after the show with Common Space Live, talking about race, being brown in America. So
I feel like you talked about a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah, I mean, when you start talking about race, you end up talking about a bunch of other things that are connected to to race, like the notion of gentrification and poverty, because all of those things are tied into it. So you can't. To me, it's like you can't have a conversation about race without having a conversation about the state of economic inequality and the state of gentrification. And also the state of what the American Empire is all about.
Which actually was addressed a bunch in the actual comedy shows. So we could totally talk more about the panel later, because the leader of the panel discussion, Neil Bardhan, joined us here today at Manicash in University City.
Yeah,
I always call it something different every time. It's like University Square.
Yeah.
University Center.
or West Philly. Some people might know it. If you're a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, this is where Will Smith probably went to school. Somewhere around here.
Probably. Is this a guess?
Maybe. Before he got into some trouble with some people.
What was... Graves tuned in.
Yeah, Graves
was
tuned
it
in.
GB we were calling him?
Yeah.
Nick Graybeal. He runs sound at Hambones and Mr. Smalls. He's very helpful and amazing.
Aiden wants you to do a cover of Bikini Kill's Rebel Girl.
I should do a cover of Bikini Kill's Rebel Girl.
She does a lot of weird covers.
I never choose... I don't have any female covers yet. Yeah. Although there's that one Feist song I really like.
That you want to do? Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to say... If you're tuned in on Facebook, please give our video a thumbs up. Give us a like. Also, if as you can tell, we are reading the comments. So if you want to talk to us and chat live, just make a comment and we'll totally talk to you and give you a shout out. Questions, comments, concerns, stick them in the comments section.
We're here. We can see them.
Let's see. I have this whole thing that I wrote at Plague Bowl. If you enjoy our content, share. Sharing on social media is the modern day word of mouth. Sharing our content helps us tremendously. You can actively help us change the world just by clicking that little arrow. You see it there? Should be on the far right of the window. Share the message by sharing the video, that broadcast. I don't even remember writing that, but I feel like it's very well done.
Pretty solid. That's good copy right there. Yeah. But my thing is just like, share it if you like it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do with your life, but you have freedom of choice. Maybe you'll make a choice to share it.
Well, no, you just did a thing about you're encountering a lot of censorship or roadblocks, let's say, with Facebook.
So and
probably Twitter too, since Lee Camp just did a thing about how Twitter admitted to.
I have not seen that yet.
But check out Lee Camp's video on Twitter.
Where Google, YouTube, and Facebook are the three major ones that are demonetizing, and they're not actively censoring, meaning they're not saying we're going to take your video down, but a lot of independent media, specifically like political content, the reach is censored. So like a video that I've noticed would normally get, without me sharing it anywhere or just like posting it up or whatever, it would normally get maybe 50 to 60 views, has gotten 10. Right, so that's and that's just me. I'm not super famous, and I don't get millions of views every week. But someone like Lee Camp or David Pakman or TYT that do get like a couple, tens of thousands of views.
Or Tim Pool.
Or
Sargon of Akkad.
All right. Your obsession with the YouTubers.
I'm just saying.
But they've lost money on this because they monetize their videos on YouTube, and that means like if you're getting over 1,000 views per video, then you're like making like dollars instead of cents, and they've gone from like 50 to 60,000 views per video to like 1,000 or 2,000 views per video. So it's bananas. They're not censoring the actual content, but they're censoring how many people get to see it and how the algorithm is responding to it, because it is political. You're talking about identity politics, or you're talking about climate change, and that's not conducive to the mainstream. So they're like,
it's not very advertiser friendly. Yeah,
I put up this story that I did, which took me like years to figure out how to do on stage.
Talk about this.
And it's about my friend's suicide, and I'm not going into like gory details about what happened. It's more about like how me and my friends dealt with what happened, right? Like that's what the whole thing is about. It's about our like emotional state and how we reacted to it, good or bad. And there's a little bit of comedy interspersed into the thing. But it's like, it took me 7 years to figure out how to like actually find a place to talk about it, because I've tried to do it in stand-up, and it's just like I've ruined people's nights by going on stage and being like, hey, who wants to address my friend's suicide? Is it you guys? No? Well, we're doing it anyway. Like that's basically how we kind of went about doing it. So I put that video up, and it's from a storytelling show in Chicago, and I can definitely see that it's doing better than the previous videos, because it's not like outright political.
But it still got demonetized.
But it got demonetized on YouTube. Yeah, within like the first day, it got demonetized on YouTube, which makes no sense. Is that a song? It's playing off the. That was weird. Okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
But yeah, it got totally demonetized from YouTube within like a day, and I can't request it for a review because it doesn't have 1,000 views on YouTube yet. So if you wanna if you wanna get it monetized again and actually have independent media be a thing, go find people like me and Lee Camp and Tim Pool and he's
not gonna pimp Sargon.
He has enough. Sargon.
He has
he's got enough
white
people.
Supremacist viewers to take care of that. I don't think he needs any.
The dude is like a little bit more conservative.
Maybe he does need minority listeners and female listeners to counterbalance and like give him more of a perspective that doesn't necessarily suit the white supremacy base that he doesn't intend supposedly.
I don't think he does, but I also don't think he's like gonna say no to it. But I also don't think I also don't think he's out there being like, hey, Aryan Nation. Like it's he's got some more righty viewpoints that I think it is important to listen to, just so at least people know,
so we know
what's out there. Yeah, and at least like, I don't know, if the goal is to have a conversation, an honest conversation about it, I think you should listen to the perspective of someone that disagrees with you, so you know what people are disagreeing with you about, rather than like, clearly there's like the extreme parts, and the extreme parts are just like, you're a different thing than me and I hate you, and it's like, Okay.
Yeah, he's not like that.
No,
but
he's not. But he brings up interesting except with feminism. He fucking hates feminism.
That's true.
So hard.
I love that we're talking about social media, though, because Neil is social media manager for First Person Arts. Whenever you want to pop in, we're going to have a call-in at 10:30 from Jonathan of the Metal Edge, which is a partner station. I think the first partner station, I'm not sure if I'm using the right lingo to describe it, with the River's Edge. So it will be 24 hours of local streaming metal, exclusively the metal music. Yeah, so that's super rad. He's going to call in. I asked him if he would share with us how one would get involved. There are some of my friends in the metal scene up in Erie, Pennsylvania, hometown. I totally hit them up like immediately when I found out. I'm tagging them on Facebook. So that's Metal Edge PGH if you want to check it out. I believe it's facebook.com, Metal Edge PGH, metaledgepgh.com. That stream launches on November 12th, 2017, and it's a media blitz up at the River's Edge with the Metal Edge.
The Day of Metal.
You can't do that.
Is that too loud?
You're killing it.
No, sorry.
I don't have the pop filter anymore.
Oh, I know.
Don't get so close. Here, squeeze in
it?
with me.
All right. Should we bring in Neil? Neil's ready? Okay.
Yeah, if you want. He's got this lovely setup of Turkish coffee. Oh, look at that.
I like that the server brought me 3 cups as if I'm going to share this pot of it with you all.
Oh, how naive.
No.
To be fair, I was here the other day with a friend of mine, just the two of us, and they brought us 3 cups as well, as if we were like waiting for somebody. I was like, do you only ever have a pot for 3 people, or can you just have a pot to 1 or 2 people?
One person drinking all the coffee.
Maybe I'm breaking the rules here. I don't know.
No, that's kind of cool. I feel like it's an automatic assumption of sharing.
Yeah. I think it's nice, really.
This is how socialism gets spread across America. 1 Turkish coffee.
One pot of coffee. A pot of coffee in every kitchen.
Yeah,
That's my campaign
that's a
slogan.
nice. Yeah. Oh, that would.
Well, that sounds really nice, actually.
Yeah. Holy crap! If you get a pot of coffee in every kitchen, I feel like you get at least 4 times the amount of millennials to come out and vote.
So you curated the Q&A last night,
Yep.
which I thought was. It seemed like the audience was almost more into the Q&A than the actual show. Like, they really got into it, and they were, like, clapping, getting really excited and laughing.
I mean, and one thing I should say is, I'm speaking as myself here, not my employer. Something to think about is it was a different kind of show. It was an interactive piece, not a stand-up show that we were doing in that latter part. And so I think it just gave people different bits to hold on to and different things to think about. And everything's going to be a performance of some sort, but hearing those honest answers to questions that are not prepared does something I think a bit different for people. And I think that was kind of the goal, is you get the in some ways curated performance side, and then in some ways you get this other thought out responses to questions.
Yeah, it seemed like people were excited that because it does come off like I've gotten that response before, just being like, oh, you're doing this as an act, and then people find out no, what I talk about on stage is like stuff that I actually believe as a person, and they're like, oh, well, that's what you can do that.
And this is something that I find interesting as a listener and occasional performer, is this blending of the stand-up and storytelling worlds now. Is that you have people who have moved into comedy through longer form true stories about themselves, and they're not designed, they're not programmed jokes per se. But they're more like your experiences, or Alyssa talking about some of the things. And
growing up in Kuwait, it's super cool.
One of our guests just came in. Bream, did I pronounce it right? Yes. Cool. If you want to grab a coffee or something while we sort of
Feel free
chat.
to take some of this Turkish coffee as well, because I don't need a full pot. Yeah.
I do believe she is involved in the local comedy scene, yes?
Yeah.
I met her because I didn't have a place to sit in Punchline.
Oh.
And Alyssa, one of the comedians performing, was kind enough to say, oh, well, you can sit with one of my friends.
Yeah.
And then, one thing led to another, and I was like, you want to do my show? What are you doing at 10 a.m. tomorrow? The usual. So yeah, we're gonna bring her on in a little bit once she gets settled, and yeah, I'm really excited about this show. I love how it can see. I wanted the art to move me,
That's
right?
That's
and then I end up with this really cool show by not planning, even though planning is very stressful and it does not always work out this nicely at all.
And part of my thing is always just like, well, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna get there by 9? Are we gonna do this? It's just like,
if we get there at 9, we'll have coffee in hand at 9:05. But maybe it's 9:07 because maybe there's a line. I don't know how that neighborhood works. You need to account for all these factors.
Right.
Like, that's kind of how I view the world like that, and then I have to check myself and say, all right, maybe let the spirit move you. Maybe it will be closed.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find a different coffee spot along the way that you want to hit. I don't know.
That was the thing, is like when we showed up here, they had all the tables up on the chair, or the chairs up on the tables. Is this like a thing that's open, or how are we gonna do this part? But it was great. I do the same thing. Is like there are times where I'm like, you should just let it go.
Yeah.
And it's hard because you don't, from when you do work all the time, it's like you do need to figure out what your schedule is, so you're not spending too much time doing the one thing, and then it's like, oh yeah, I didn't do anything else.
This is a constant struggle that I'm like personally and professionally working on. It's like,
Yeah.
how do I like block off time where I say, okay, that's an hour I need to work on writing, but then also give myself an hour of responding to the emails that came in during that
Yes.
time, and letting a little slop. I could talk about this for hours, and that's why I have a therapist.
Well, yeah, what's the art that you're passionate about?
I do a lot of improv, actually.
Oh, cool.
So I'm involved in the Philly improv world. And I also teach improv to scientists and technical professionals to develop their communication skills.
Oh,
that's
so
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah, so this is one of the hats I wear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you find that to be like? Do you think that's a challenge to get academically inclined people to communicate?
It's a challenge to get anybody to communicate, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yes, because they're humans, and they've been brought up in kind of a personal culture as well as a professional one.
Yeah.
This is how you talk to people. This is how you talk about your work. This is how you share your information at a conference or in a coffee hour kind of thing. And so, and again, like I can talk for hours about this because it's my career. One of the things I've done in the past couple of years, and part of what brought me to like first-person arts and the storytelling world, is thinking about all the different ways that you can communicate. So you can have a very off-the-cuff conversation, or you can do something that's more like a formal talk that's going to be on YouTube and get a million views, or something in between where it's like, well, I've got my bullet points, and maybe somebody throws a beer from the audience because I'm giving a science talk at a bar on a Tuesday night. You never know. So there's just a whole range out there, and I think for a lot of reasons we've gotten away from recognizing the range, let alone hopping in and trying all the different ways of doing it. And I think that's true for like comedy and storytelling as well.
Yeah.
Right. So, Reem, I'm Neil Bardhan. I don't know if we've properly met before. I feel like we have. Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, intro.
I've seen your name a million times already. So, yeah. Well, I read a lot of the internet.
Did you find that, like, because that's what improv did for me, is it helped me go from, because I used to be one of those guys where I was like, I'm not doing anything new on stage until it's written in my notebook exactly the way I want to say it.
I will always do an accent of my mother.
Right. I would, and I would have like a little parentheses where I'm like, do this in an accent, and it's like
as if you're gonna forget.
As if I'm gonna forget the only thing that makes me funny at age 17, right? It's like, so when I took improv, it really helped because I didn't want to be so restricted in my writing. So like, it really helped be a little bit more free flow and go up on stage and be like, all right, the idea is to talk about, you know, how coffee is the only thing that'll bring humanity together. And let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And I maybe have 3 jokes that'll eventually, like, I will get to. Did you find that kind of helps with, because I do feel like improv has this universal life coach kind of mentality to it.
Yes. Yeah, it's helped me in, I would say, again, like the range of settings. So in a conversation like this, 5 years ago, like before I was doing improv, I probably would have been incredibly anxious and pre-programming responses to questions that I haven't even known that you're going to ask yet.
Right.
And improv has helped me actually respond to a question that was asked. It's wild, I know.
Yeah.
And then also, certainly in a professional or a performance setting, you can just do a lot more. I think if you have a general sense of what you're headed for, and then also let the art move you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be what I call this episode at this point. The art move you. I wanted to take improv classes because I think it would help with my stage game between songs and stuff. Because I become like this disembodied person.
Oh.
And I'm not like fully in charge of what I'm saying when I'm on stage, oddly enough. It's another like let the art move you sort of thing, but it doesn't always work out. I forget to pimp my shows, or I forget to say that I'm Liss Victory and you have tuned into that broadcast. For those of you tuned in, my co-host today is Krish Mohan, comedian, and our guest at Current is Neil Bardham.
Dr. Neil Bardham.
That's me.
Of First Person Arts.
Dr. Neil P. Bardhan, not
Neil
to be confused with the Neil Bardhan who lives in Pittsburgh,
What?
who is not me.
What? There's a Pittsburgh?
There are
Bardhan?
three Neil Bardhans. 2 of us are in Pennsylvania, and 1 is in, I think, New Brunswick.
Oh.
It's just all
There's a
East Coast
concentration.
Neil,
There are no West Coast Neil Bardhans.
I had 2 offers. You want to steal anybody's?
One is a freshman in college.
Ugh.
I get a lot of
Don't-
emails from his dad. It's fine.
Don't. Oh, that's awesome.
Are they angry email?
No, there was a
Why are
period
you-
where they were just incredibly boring. Like, don't forget to check in with your like AP,
This is a
AP
true
Calc
story.
teacher. This is a true story. I'm thinking like
amazing.
Hari's bit from last night about like make sure to like have your middle initial.
Yeah.
In there. So it took me 2 or 3 misdirected emails from this father and mother too at some point to realize, oh, there's nothing funny going on here. It's literally just parents screwing up their kids' email address about everyday life stuff. So it was like, don't forget to register for the draft. Please make sure you talk to your, calc teacher.
Wow.
Then I was like, oh,
Okay.
he must be 17, 18. He's figuring out college. Like, that's all there is going on.
Right.
I'm sure there's more in his life. Neil, I hope you're doing well up at Rutgers. We should hang out sometime.
Yeah, is there anything that you want to add before our call-in pops in around 10:30?
Oh,
Yeah, because that's happening.
Important
yeah.
things that...
I'll plug the First Person Arts Festival, which
sounds
is
great.
Yeah, which I'm
Yeah.
working on. First Person Arts is Philadelphia's only nonprofit dedicated to the art of storytelling, and we have an annual festival. There's literally nothing like it in the world. 2 straight weeks of shows, people talking about their real life experiences. Some of these are very theatrical, some are more comedic, some things just blur the lines, and we have quite a lineup going on right now. So check out First Person Arts on social media and firstpersonarts.org. Got that plug in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks for having me on. I'm going to
Thank
go
you for
drink more Turkish coffee.
being on with us.
Cool.
That was awesome.
All right.
It's a very DIY setup that we have here, ladies and gentlemen.
Friends of all genders.
Hello there, Jonathan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up?
Excellent. I can hear you too. This is working out great. So you are involved in the new partner station with the River's Edge. Is partner station the right thing to say?
Probably affiliate.
Affiliate. I like that. Sounds more
Not quite
professional.
sure. I don't know. You can talk to Brian about that. He can figure out the proper term for that. We'll go with affiliate for now. It just sounds strong. really strong.
All right, I will verify the title with Brian Crawford, station manager, one of station managers of River's Edge, which is all Pittsburgh music, 24 hours a day. But this is going to be a little bit different. You want to tell us how?
All right. Well, we are going to be exclusively focusing on metal and the harder of the hard rock in Pittsburgh.
The harder of the hard rock, he says. So
yeah, stuff that's a little bit closer to metal, you know, but it's not quite as metal. We want to throw those guys in too, you know? Share the love.
how did you, because Brian's been talking about this for a while, so where did this idea, where was it birthed from?
Well, I could go back to where it all started, and that was when Zach Fell, who is the other person doing the station with me, who I've known for several years now, he went to Cal with Brian Crawford, and they've known each other, and they even threw this little event called Heavy Metal Monessen, where Brian actually sponsored the event with the River's Edge. And so they already had that kind of a good thing going on between those two. And then I met Zach at Heavy Metal Monessen, and I helped him make the event bigger, which it was just a music festival. You know, there were a couple bands on stage and have a good time. And I helped make the event bigger and got to know Brian that way. And after a couple of years, and we knew that Brian had this platform, the River's Edge platform, we're like, we could do something with this. And Zach and I are like the metal people, so let's just we could take our metal, apply it to your River's Edge-ness that you do, Brian, and that's what we did.
River's Edge-ness. I like that. That's
yeah.
Cool. So this started in college for you guys with a music festival, basically.
Yeah, for Zach and Brian. I'm just the old guy, really.
Why do you say that? Like, what's your role with the new station?
Well, I'm one of the managers with Zach. So we do a lot of the stuff like pick out the artists, like picking out the tracks that are good enough and quality enough to stream, which, yeah, sometimes you get some bad ones. Sometimes. Got to be honest about that.
Well, radio quality is well, from what I've heard in the industry stuff that I've listened to, having a track that's radio quality isn't necessarily something that's super easy to achieve. And if you can't get a radio quality track, you're not going to get nearly the play for it than if you're recording at radio quality. And I only know about 50% of what I'm talking about there. You know what, though? We're pretty loose about that. We do have a lot of tracks that are still plenty listenable, even though they're not done like in a proper studio, and they were done in a very DIY household environment kind of deal. And you can tell, but the tracks are still very listenable. They just have a very campy feel to it as a result. Yeah, I've done.
But in a good way.
I've done my past 2 records in studio, but I'm really excited to do my own thing in my own home studio space coming up here. So I'm very much hoping that the production quality is like radio ready and everything. Good for River's Edge play.
That's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a musician, I'm a musician. We know, we understand.
So how do bands get involved? Because I've got some metal band friends. I've been tagging them on Facebook. I've been telling people. Well,
they can send us an email. Our email is metaledgepgh@gmail.com. Or if you since everyone loves Facebook, just send us a message on our Facebook page at the Metal Edge. Well, we'll talk about it and make sure your music sounds good, and we'll get you up on the stream, which actually is live right now, believe it or not. Nobody just knows about it. It's hidden.
Really?
It's up for it's up for testing, so we can make sure everything's working right.
We got some exclusive insider stuff. So Metal Edge is technically streaming with metal music right now, right?
Yes, but nobody can find it.
Oh. So if I go to metaledgepgh.com, I'm not necessarily going to find it?
Nope, I have that blocked off right now. The widget is still blocked off.
I thought this was like some sweet secret stuff that's like, oh, you can tune in now. Dang. All right.
Oh,
so we're all
no
going to
way.
have to wait until November 17th or November 12th?
November 12th.
Yeah,
this
we all
Sunday.
have to wait until Sunday, November 12th. I think I'm going to be there actually for, I don't know how exclusive this launch party is, but I'm meeting up with Brian, and he mentioned he was doing some launch stuff. So I might see you Sunday if you're going to be around in person for that.
Oh, yes, I absolutely will be with Zach, and you get to meet my girlfriend, too. Woo!
Oh, cool. Excellent. Yeah, all right. Well, I wanted to make sure I could tell people how to get involved. And, oh, you're accepting music from, was it the I don't know if it was tri-state area?
Yeah, we're looking at about 100 miles around Pittsburgh, we're looking at. So if you're within 100 miles of Pittsburgh, we want you.
So would Erie, Pennsylvania count?
Yeah, we actually included a band from Erie in our initial launch, that's the proper word, our launch roster.
Who is it?
I believe it was, here, I'm trying to remember all the bands. I think the band's called Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. Okay, I think I've heard
Raven,
of them,
yeah.
but they're not like
Ravenclaw, yeah.
my best friends, so I don't know
Actually,
for sure.
I'm going to find out right now, because the website is up and rolling. I can just pull that up and look at my locations here. Yep, it's Ravenslaw. That's right.
Ravenslaw.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime
Yeah,
someone even says they know a person from Erie, I'm that guy who's like, who is it? What's their name? I might know them because we all know each other.
Yeah.
It's like a small town thing.
It took a while, though, because speaking of the bands, we really wanted to make sure we had enough for a good, solid variety when we launched. You don't want to launch with so few bands that then you click play on the playlist and you're like, oh, yeah, I just heard this. Then it's like, oh, I just heard this.
Yeah.
And like a little bit later, we're like, oh, I just heard this. No, none of that. There's going to be plenty of variety, and we're working on like the algorithm to make sure it's like the right mix and all that stuff, and it's turning out fantastic right now. That's why we have the stream up for testing on our end.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear your excitement about it, because that, like, the excitement of the person who's putting on an event always helps translate to the people around them, I think, at least in my experience.
Oh, thanks. Well, I can't help it. You know, it's just, this has been a long time coming. We've been talking about this on and off for a year and a half, and then we had to get some things in place, and then we had some things get in the way, and not really get in the way. I mean, it was like stuff like the Millville Music Festival. We had a lot of things to do with that, and then I got mono and
Oh, gosh.
all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, that was not fun.
Well, I really look forward to tuning into the station because I love me some metal. I don't play metal, but I do enjoy it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see all the stuff that is going to come from the Metal Edge, because I'm sure you're going to be involved in events and stuff too, like the Millville Music Festival.
Yeah, and we're also hoping to hook up with some other shows and do some collaborations and even broadcast live shows.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that. I hope so. That sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is there anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Coming down the pipeline in the future, we're also going to have actual talk shows on the Metal Edge.
Excellent. I want to see the Pittsburgh version of Wayne's World, personally. If you can make that happen, I would love that.
Zach and I might actually be pulling off something like that. I mean, we are going to be doing the show, but is it going to be like Wayne's World? Don't know yet, but I don't know. They might take that format.
That sounds great. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks so much for calling in.
Oh, thank you for having me. And that reminds me, I should probably get a hat if I'm going to do this show.
Get a what?
An awesome hat.
Oh, an awesome hat.
Like an awesome
okay.
Yeah, an awesome trucker hat. Like Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, you should do that. I totally agree.
I better get on that.
All right, cool. I will see you Sunday. Thanks so much.
All right, I'll see you Sunday. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Talk to you soon. That was really cool. I'm excited for his station.
Yeah, this should be fun.
We have another guest joining us now.
Hello. How loud do I have to speak?
Actually, if you move up a little bit. And
Hello. Sorry.
It's sort of a weird mic for this particular situation. I did have a pop filter because it's a vocal recording singing mic.
Got it.
But it's a really good quality, so I use it for the recording too.
Nice.
But without the pop mic, we can't get super close to it.
It's a mistake I have made several times already.
Today. Well,
Can you give me my coffee now?
Yeah. What's your performing name?
Reem Salim, and that's also my real name.
Cool.
Thank you for having me on and for having me here. Was this on purpose to make me feel comfortable and at home since I'm Arab? I feel very at home.
This was already planned out.
This
is the art of the moment.
Amazing.
We knew about you, and we were like, "How can we trap this Arab woman?"
Before you even booked me.
Get a show in Philadelphia.
Yes.
With another Indian comic,
Well,
but I'm not going to headline it. I'm just going to be like the opener.
We'll accidentally sit next to her.
And then my fiance will be like, oh.
You know, this is my first podcast, and I'm like, you guys have set the standards very high. I had like waffles and turkey bacon. I mean, like surrounded by Arabs. Like, I feel very like this is very high standards.
My guess was very low standards. It was a very DIY setup.
So what we're saying is, fuck you, Mark Maron.
I think that's what everybody is saying, right?
I'm going to get on board with that. But yeah, so Alyssa, you're friends with Alyssa Al-Dookhi.
Alyssa Al-Dookhi, Queen Alyssa. She's amazing comedian. Yes, she's also a queen. Queen of Philadelphia and Kuwait, and no.
You can move back a little bit. We're all kind of
okay.
back, so
Am I like super
it'll
loud?
Even
Okay.
out the sound.
I'm also a loud person, so I don't really need to be up against the mic as my people are. But Alyssa's great. We've both been in the comedy scene for a while, and she is so supportive of every female comedian and every comedian on the scene. She's just like super positive, and like it's great to have her in the comedy fam.
Is it really like a comedian sisterhood kind of thing, like she was saying?
Yeah, like there's like a very strong connection between all of the women comedians, especially over the past couple of years, just because like there's so much that's been happening like generally in the comedy scene, but also in Philadelphia, that involves a lot of like harassment and whatever, but there's been more and more women involved in the scene, so much so that we take up like more than a quarter of open mics now, and it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of women, and like because like now we're all super connected on like social media and like in person, and there's women running shows, and like it's been really great, because like I took off from comedy. I took like 2 years off just because of like how horribly saturated it was with assholes and like,
not an uncommon thing.
Yeah, exactly, and misogynists. And then like it completely changed, and like over the past couple of years, and it's been like I've been doing comedy for like 6 or 7 years now, and like the past 4 have been pretty excellent.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have some shows coming up in Philadelphia, or?
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
I host, write, direct, and star. Well, I guess host and star is the same thing, right?
The more titles, the better. Just layer them on.
I sleep on it. I'm in a sketch show every month on a Good Comedy Theater, which is recently ranked best comedy theater in Philadelphia. Ooh. So owned by 2 good friends, Erin and Kate, who are comedians who started a Kickstarter like a year ago because they just wanted a theater, and now they have a theater, and it's amazing. Yeah,
that's so cool.
And they have so many like avant-garde shows there, like it's sketch, improv, like stand-up, everything, and it's all mixed, so it's like really cool. And there's like lots of themed shows. Alyssa has 2 shows at Good that are great. One called Eat Your Beats, where you rap about food, and one called Makeup or Breakup, where they have like couples on, and it's like a game show, and they try to get people to break up.
I would be down to do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. You should
Yeah,
do it.
let's
It's
see
really
how-
fun.
Yeah, let's see how strong this relationship is.
My boyfriend and I were on it twice, and and we're still together, so it's
So
great.
bold.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, so maybe the show isn't that good then, is what you're saying?
They've been trying so hard to break up people, but some people have broken up before even being on the show because they couldn't agree on whether or not to be on the show.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm like,
That's
if your
hilarious.
relationship can't even last that, maybe you should end it.
Yeah.
But
Like, I love the idea that like a show about breakup breaks people up.
Yeah.
Like that aspect of it is just so fantastic.
Yeah, it's so great. And, but my boyfriend and I still argue about the thing that we argued about on the show, which is my cat, but that's her fault.
Cat arguments.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not just a cat.
You know, at this point, I feel like you're just giving the cat what it wants.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Give
It
her
wants
the
human
attention.
divide so that it can,
Yeah.
eat our eyeballs or whatever
Yeah.
creepy thing that cats do.
Her name is Squirrel because she acts like an erratic, like Temple University squirrel. Like if you've been to Temple campus, you know they like follow you around. Like they're not afraid. But
We have a whole squirrel hill in Pittsburgh.
There
There's
you
just,
go.
like, squirrels everywhere.
They're
and
taking
I
over.
love them. That's okay. There's a saying for this. I am very happy about our new squirrel overlords. What is it? It's a phrase.
I will
happy.
welcome our squirrel overlord.
That's it. Thank
don't.
you.
I let one in, and now she's taking over my household.
Oh, when's the show?
So yeah, my show. Oh, sorry, I completely got off track there.
That happens all the time on the show.
I have a show called Good Morning New Miami, and it's a sketch show. It's a post-apocalyptic daytime talk show set in the year 2050, and it's called New Miami because New Miami is in West Virginia, and Old Miami sank into the ocean. And
Dang, that's cool.
yeah, and so I play this like talk show host, kind of like Hoda Kotb. What's the other one? The white one, and Hoda Kotb on the Today
The
Show.
other one these days.
I forget her name already. Kathy Lee.
That lady.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like a Kathy Lee type of character, and we're very ignorant of all the horrible stuff happening around us. So yeah, that's kind of the show. It's pretty excellent.
Can I ask a ridiculous technical question?
Yeah.
Have you done like the environmental math research on whether or not like West Virginia will be the new Florida?
Probably. It's a little exaggerated, but I'm actually.
But it doesn't sound so far off.
No,
is
it's
my
not.
thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm actually an environmental studies graduate student, which is
Oh.
why I started this show, because
amazing.
I was getting very
What?
depressed with
geez.
all the. I just dropped coffee all over myself. That's foreboding of all the sea level rise. No, it's a sign. No, I just got really depressed with all because especially after the Trump era. Like I actually go to Penn, and the professors had like a meeting with all of the master's students about how we felt after it was a very snowflake meeting that like it was but everyone was really emotional because we were like, oh, we're gonna lose all our funding for our research. Like people were like legitimately concerned about their career at the university.
Yeah.
And because they're going to cut all the funding. And so, I started the show because I was very frustrated and angry and sad, and that's where comedy is born. So,
Yep.
yeah, and I actually have two EPA professors, like right now. Like one's a prosecutor for the EPA, and the other one is just in the EPA.
Wow.
And it's really,
rad.
like, it's really demoralizing to see your professors become more and more depressed each week. Yeah. So, but recently, like with all the stuff coming out about like Scott Pruitt and like the Trump administration, they've been like feeling better. So it's been kind of this whole therapeutic process.
There's one M-named guy. It's like Manischewitz or
Manafort.
something.
It's Paul Manafort.
All right. I knew it
Ruined the
wasn't
bit, ruined the bit.
Manischewitz, but
Paul Manischewitz Manafort. People get
That is the
confused.
sweet wine that Jewish people drink on Yom Passover.
Yeah,
it's
he's not
delicious.
sweet.
It's
He's not
also they put out a variety of different kosher foods.
Yeah.
Actually, Krish, you might want to.
I said one of the things.
I think you're getting him mixed up with Mueller, which is a Russian drink.
So what's the date, time, location?
Yes.
For that guy?
So usually it's the fourth Sunday, the last Sunday of the month. But for November and December, because of holidays, it's the third Sunday. So November 19th is the next one. 7 p.m. at Good Comedy Theater, which is in Chinatown, and it's surrounded by amazing restaurants that you can go to before the show, and then it's BYO,
Nice.
so you can bring your own beers.
I like that a lot.
Yes,
I
it's
like
really
that
great.
pitch.
It's really excellent. They have a bunch of amazing comedians on that show, even like people like Joe Firestone and like actual like non-domestic comedians.
I really want to see.
Yeah,
the show
imported
now.
comedians.
Like the
like a
craft
good
brew of
beer.
comedians.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm Yingling. But everybody
Wait,
likes
you voted for Trump?
All right, I forgot about that.
The beer
Oh, my
didn't
God.
vote for Trump.
Yeah, the beer didn't
Her
vote.
dad
It's not the
just-
beer's fault.
Our friend actually does a bit about that I really, really love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our friend Michael Cohen does a bit where he's like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna drink the beer because the beer can't vote."
Yeah, exactly.
Was it? It's a liquid.
It's a liquid.
It's not in a solid state.
It
so
is not 18
science.
years old.
It's
I
not
hope.
18.
Yes.
And let's be honest, Yingling sounds too
Hey,
foreign
no,
for
no,
it
no. Yingling is the oldest brewery in the United States, according
Yes.
to the box
Yes.
that it comes in.
But like
They have to be old enough
beer
to vote.
says it's the oldest beer. Like Milwaukee's Best probably says that on there.
Yeah,
You know,
but
it's
can
like-
you walk into a bar in Milwaukee and say, "Can I have a lager?" and they give you that? No.
No.
In Philly, you just go, "Can I have a lager?" and they give you a Yingling.
That's pretty great.
I didn't even know about that
No.
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we can't do that in
and I
Pittsburgh.
think Pottsville's
only works-
closer.
Pottsville's closer to Philly. Yeah, Pottsville close. Yeah.
Fine, never mind.
Well, I know there was one where this became like a big thing for Yingling because they opened one down south. They opened but it's so bad. Like if you
Like everything in the South.
Yeah, well, that's what the thing that they were saying is like it's something in the water. It's something in the water supply
That
in the
makes
south.
Yingling taste like Yingling.
Yeah,
Makes
but
more
it's
sense.
Huh.
in the south the
It's
water's
called lead.
treated differently. Yeah, it's lead. So, yeah, the lead is what gives Yingling that sweet flavor.
It's the Schuylkill punch, as they call
the
it.
Schuylkill punch.
That's actually a thing.
Ours is called Confluence Crabs. That's what's in the water.
I like that. Where did that come from?
I like the Confluence, and I figured
Did that
what's
just
off-
come to you?
Yeah.
That's
Because
beautiful.
I'm a genius. Voice of a generation.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
fine. Just look me up.
Well, as an environmental science
on
student, I have to step in here and say that Philadelphia's water is very clean. I had a class taught by the commissioner of the Philadelphia Water Department. There's
So it's
poop
not
in it,
biased
but
at
it's
all?
treated.
That's really good to know. 'Cause one of the reasons I don't want to stay in Pittsburgh to have a family is because of the water issues that we're
Yeah.
having. Like lead levels on par with, if not
Yeah.
worse than Flint, Michigan. So it's like
Right now, it's
Yeah.
worse than Flint, but they're
Oh
not
my
really
God!
In lead.
Seriously?
in lead
Lead
content.
content.
Holy shit.
Yeah, in
well,
just
we're
lead.
not like breaking out in
Yeah.
rashes. I don't
Yeah.
want to diminish what's
Your
happening
water's
in
still
Flint.
clear. I assume
We're
that's
not
your-
legitimately
Yeah.
being poisoned.
Yeah,
but there
we're
is
not- there's no
more
birth
lead.
I would say
defects.
we are legitimately being poisoned, and by the same company. It's
Yeah.
the same company that came into Pittsburgh that screwed up the Flint water,
Wow.
and they're based in France.
I wonder what the connection there is.
Well, I'm going to do a
Is it
plug for the PWD. Do it. Philadelphia water, not as much lead as Flint. No, but I went to their treatment centers, and it's cool.
out.
It checks out, yeah.
Yeah.
They're really old, but it still checks out.
I wonder if that's the problem with the Jacksonville brewery of Yingling. It's like the water was just too
Oh, I have an answer for that. Swamp water. It's basically a
clean.
swamp.
That's right, because
Yeah.
it's Florida.
Also, another fun fact
Ah.
in terms of swamps, the Philadelphia airport is essentially on a swamp. So during sea level rise, that'll be the first to go, which is really unfortunate.
Wait, what? Okay, let's answer this question. What happens to DC? Because that is also a
Yeah,
swamp.
all swamp. Yep,
It's
that's
done.
gone.
It's
That's
gonna
why,
drown.
actually, Tim Kaine I wasn't super. I was a Bernie fan, and I wasn't super into Hillary. And then I voted for Hillary because I had to, because I'm an Arab woman environmentalist, and
so you're intersectional, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I finally convinced myself just because of Tim Kaine, because Tim Kaine is a super environmentalist, and he's brought Virginia so far in terms of like environmental policy because of the fact that like the swamp situation ain't great, and they have a lot of trouble with like, migrating birds and stuff, but he's he's like literally like flipped it 360. Tim Kaine, even though he's like kind of a boring dad type, he's a good environmentalist.
Timmy K.
What's he up to these days?
TK.
It sounds very glib, but like
probably
he's out of the spotlight.
But
I find that very interesting.
But it's the same thing as like, what's Howard Dean doing these days?
Yeah, he's probably hanging out with Merrick Garland at a bar somewhere. I'm guessing Tim Kaine.
Remember when that soundbite ruined my life?
Yeah. Oh, he's still in politics.
Howard Dean?
Yeah, he's in Vermont, right?
But you don't. Yeah, that's the weird thing is like, I keep thinking, like, every so often I'll think about these weird independent guys that sort of were Democrats.
Yeah.
But sort of also were just a little bit too over to the left.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what are you up to these days?
Yeah.
Which is like, we know what Bernie's up to.
Yeah.
He's battling every Republican in Senate.
Yeah. What the fuck is that that libertarian guy that stole so
Gary
many votes?
Johnson?
Where the hell is he? Where has Gary Johnson and Jill Stein been since the election? This is what I hate about
Jill Stein's
fringe
tweeting
candidates.
though, right? Like, Jill Stein's
Yeah.
still very
So is
active.
Trump, and he's not doing anything.
They're still tweeting. Well, I'm gonna do our
Sorry.
sponsorship, and we're coming up on the hour. Did you have anything that you wanted to do, like a spoken word, or?
Do I have
there
time to
are
do that?
3 of
Yeah.
us, so if you did want to do some funny stuff, there's some people to laugh at you.
Yeah, you can tell a weird story.
I'm used to
whatever.
people laughing at me.
We have permission to go a little bit over the hour, so we will have
cool.
some time. But I'm gonna do my sponsorship plug while you think
Go
about
ahead.
what, if
Yes.
anything, you want to
Do your Blue Apron thing.
The Blue Apron thing. Yes. Do you want to do it? You're good at this.
Oh, do you want me to? Okay.
Make sure you read the last line. I like the last line.
This part?
No, the cheers of the.
Oh, yeah. I said that.
I know you did.
All right. That broadcast is sponsored by Hambones Pub, located in the Lawrenceville neighborhood in the east end of Pittsburgh, PA. Hambones provides community engagement and entertainment every day of the week. Hambones, the cheers of the Pittsburgh's arts community. This is very difficult to do when somebody's chewing on my face.
You managed to do that plug while being chewed on. It was really good.
Say hello
You're a
to
true
Jeff
performer.
Holt. That's
Hambo's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So yeah, did you want to do a thing?
Sure, I'll do a thing. So I didn't mention this at all. Well, except for saying that I'm Arab, but I'm technically North African, so I'm Egyptian. And
cool.
yeah. That's why my name is weird. And my name is Reem, so that's R-E-E-M, just for in case. And my name is it means certain things in Arabic. It means beautiful gazelle with beautiful eyes.
All of it?
Yes.
Nice.
But in English, it has completely different meanings. Like according to Staples, my name means a stack of paper.
A ream of paper.
Yes. According to Planet Earth, my name means a group of female mountain goat.
Ooh.
That's
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
rad.
pretty feminist.
That's like-
And then according to UrbanDictionary.com, my name means something really gross that I'm not going to say on the mic. It means to fuck someone so hard you rip a new butthole into them.
I don't want to
Yeah.
know if that's possible, and
Yeah.
I don't want it to
And
be possible.
it's the one that I'm most proud of.
Well, then I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's UrbanDictionary.com pre-internet was just a dictionary. The back part of the dictionary. But yeah, whenever I tell people I'm Egyptian, they're always just like, "Oh my god, that's so exotic! Oh my god, do you know any mummies?"
I have several of them.
Yes, I have one. Have you ever lived in a pyramid?
Is that real?
These are all real.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Did you ride a camel to school? And it's super ignorant, right?
You know that Egypt is like a modern.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of civilization.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, right. We were only like the number one like producer of grains in the world, but NBD. But so of course I always respond with yes, all of those things. It makes me seem way cooler than I actually am. Like, why would I say no to that? Sounds super badass.
hang out in a giant mausoleum
Yes.
constructed specifically for men.
Yeah. I've been in a pyramid. It's very boring.
I just want friends. Please be my friend.
Yeah, dark, hot room. It's super interesting. But no, I say all those things because I really was very uncool as a kid. I was not cool at all. I was super bullied, and that's like a step beyond bullying, is super bullying, where the whole grade, no. I grew up with braces, glasses, a back brace, and this list keeps going.
Dang,
And
okay.
corrective shoes, because I walked like a goose.
And you're here.
Yeah, and I'm here. No. And not all at the same time, though. Thank God. Holy crap. Yeah, no. Oh my God.
Yeah,
That
as
would
you were
have
saying, it's
been
like-
horrible. I would have been 90% metal, and I already have trouble at the airport. I don't need that. I don't need that. No, but yeah, I basically, like, my genes were like the cereal powder at the bottom of God's genetic cereal box. That's essentially what I inherited. But I was very uncool, and like my first. Okay, so I'm Egyptian, but I grew up in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, cool fact.
Cool.
Yeah, fun capital of the world. Fun fact. And
No, well, falconry was invented.
yeah, and women not driving was invented, and a lot of it in the news right now. But yeah, I grew up on an American compound, oil compound, and yeah, which is very different because they let women
that's so
drive there.
cool.
Yeah, and like
Probably because they have
Probably
to.
'cause-
Because that's
yeah.
why they legalized it, right?
Yeah.
Because they needed women to drive. They needed
Yeah.
people to be going to work and stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, none of them.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Although it's kind of weird because there's something in the law that says like if your husband disapproves of something you do, he can like make you not do it anymore. So legally, they
believe
still
it.
could be like, no, you can't
Weird.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Weird.
Anyway, cool place.
I feel like Saudi Loopholes is a great name for a band, by the way, if anybody wants to.
Yes,
Loopholes.
Saudi
Saudi
loopholes.
loopholes.
That's good.
Yeah, don't tour in the
Yeah.
Middle East if you do make that your band name.
Yeah,
Write
just
that down.
steer away from just that one part of the world that
Yeah.
everybody's wanted to fuck with forever.
Yeah.
It would be great if it were a femme punk band and every single song was
Yes.
the title of some like, I don't want to use weird because weird can be a positive thing,
Yeah.
of some oppressive thing
Yeah.
that is done to women in
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
You could
I
can't
need
drive.
a driver and I look like a ninja. No. I don't know.
Dang, girl.
No,
Like,
that's
concept
super horrible.
albums that are based on like, okay, well, in in the legislation, this entire section of code is about like
Yeah.
financial things. This is a concept album all about like financial.
Yes.
That's where my.
It's essentially what the compound was, but
I feel like
Financial
that
loophole.
tour,
Yeah.
that tour has to be called Everywhere But the Silk Road.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm writing that
The
down too.
Sandy Road. I don't know.
Once again, genius voice of a generation.
Yeah, so I was uncool in Saudi Arabia too, and my first memory of being uncool is we used to play this. Well, did you guys watch Power Rangers as a kid?
Yeah,
You guys some Ranger heads here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've never heard that.
Yes, I'm copyright Reem.
That's a coin.
And we used to play Power Rangers, and we would role play, and all the girls wanted to be the Pink Ranger, right?
Of course.
And
of course.
all the boys wanted to be, I don't know what, because they never talked to me, but but I never got to be the Pink Ranger. I was always assigned the role of a rock.
What?
Not the country, a piece of landscape.
like
Like a rock.
Why can't you even be the
what?
witch or anything?
Yeah.
No,
What
and
about?
let me tell you guys how I felt about this. I did not hate it. I actually kind of liked it. Nobody judges you for holding slugs when you're alone. All right. Nobody judges you for peeing in the sandbox. You know, it's your pee, it's your sandbox. You can do what you want to. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I feel like no one judges you for peeing in a pool. Why would they judge you for peeing in a sandbox? I feel like
Right?
it's,
Well, if
you
no
know,
one's there, it's not a problem. And, the girls did talk to me, though. They did talk to me, and they said, sit very still and very far away. No, but...
Why do I have to be still if I'm far away?
and I did it because I'm a rebel. I moved around in that B-field soundbox. And then, like, my parents decided to move to America when I was in 7th grade, which was perfect timing because my body was going through so many changes. Yeah, I was like weird and awkward, like as I already said, you heard the Power Rangers thing. And now I was gonna be foreign, so that was great. And my dad, like the day they said we were gonna move, my dad sat me down and he was like, Reem, speaking of accents of your parents,
yeah.
but this is also totally off of what my dad sounds like. He was like, Reem, we are going to America now. This is 100% true. And in America, there are American boys. Right? And American boys, they only want one thing. And I knew he meant, like, my cuckoo, right? I knew he meant the coochie area.
I love cuckoo.
Yeah.
Best ever.
It's the Arabic word.
What?
It's like a slang word, yeah. Yeah.
It's so cute.
amazing.
Cuckoo. It's so cute. The
Misogynist as
vagina.
fuck. They come up
I'm writing
with
that
down.
Yes.
Female body.
Yeah, it's my favorite word. And of course, like, my thought was like, you know, I really hope so. I really hope so. That's the only part of me that was still working, not braced. And, you know, I was really counting on people getting on the Reem train. And then the next day, I went to use the bathroom, and I got my period. And I was like, great, now my vagina's broken. This is all... It's never happening.
This is like childhood story time with Reem.
Yeah, that's basically my whole set.
I feel like if that story ended with, and then I got a chastity belt, would have been the most depressing thing. To
Yeah,
be like,
no.
Well, the show's over now.
Yes. Very comfortable, though. No.
Everybody cry for the next hour. Is that
Instead,
okay?
I got an IUD, which is the modern equivalent. I'm going to do a quick plug for the IUD. Get one.
Wild for you.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. And then, actually, I can't believe I'm going to say this on air. I hope my parents don't hear this.
You're following Liss? Because
Are you guys on the radio or on the internet?
We are
on the
live.
internet radio.
On internet radio.
Okay, cool.
So
They don't know the internet.
No.
I had to learn a lot of things when I moved here. God knows why, because he was the reason. And I had to learn a lot of things, and one of them was using a tampon at age 20. And my parents live very close to Valley Forge Park, and in King of Prussia. And my quick plug. No, I'm kidding. And
The plug episode. Tampon.
yeah, plug it in.
Use it. If you need
Freshness with a spin. Plug it into your cuckoo. And my best friend. I was living at home at the moment, and my best friend and I had to go somewhere for her to teach me how to do this, which was weird. But so we went to
that too.
Naturally, we went to Valley Forge Park and not a bathroom. And because we were hiking, and I just got my period while I was hiking, so she pulled out a tampon and gave it to me, and then I sat in our car, and she sat not looking in, but directing me outside the car, and so then this is pretty cool. I have something in common with George Washington, which is we both left a trail of our bloody footprints at Valley Forge Park. So, yeah. Also, almost put the tampon in my butthole.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
So not the second surprise attack at Valley Forge Park.
Surprise attack.
Just kidding, that never happened. There was no surprise attack at Valley Forge Park. No battles. Know your history, America.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I think I should just end with that.
Yeah, I think that's great.
That's a good ending,
That's
right? Am I
literally
on
been,
time?
I think
Yeah.
the best
Yeah, that's
closer
perfect.
to this show ever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So proud. Be proud.
Well, let me see if I have a.
Actually, you know what I should end with? I'm brace free now. Yeah, live your dreams, guys. Eventually, you'll get fixed.
So those
Eventually,
American
there'll be no
boys
battles.
know.
Yes.
Hopefully they're
Yes.
men by now, but I don't know if they ever really
Still
achieved
boys.
that
It
in
doesn't
matter.
this country. All right,
great.
well, you are tuned into that broadcast. I am Liss Victory. This is Krish Mohan, Reem Salim, and did I get it right?
Yes.
And Neil Bardhan.
Dr. Neil
Yeah.
P. Bardhan.
Next time, you guys should be live on Broad Street, because then you can be the broadcast on Broad
I'm super
Street.
down with that, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually an open mic by a female comedian that's called Broad Humor. That's on Broad Street.
perfect.
And it's all women. It
Oh,
is
I got
pretty great.
to get that info.
Yeah.
Future reference.
It's not all
amazing.
women, but mostly
That's
women. And it's it's pretty great. And it's at a strip club. It's
It's
anyway.
even better.
Called the Republican Club. Anyway,
Wow.
just quick plug for Rachel
amazing.
Fogletto.
Yeah. Oh, we know
Rachel
Rachel.
show.
Yeah,
I love
she's
Rachel.
great.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
She's
I was
the
supposed to
best.
do the Republican Club in December of last year,
Yeah.
and then my car died, and then I found out that rental car agencies don't take debit cards because capitalism is a whore.
Oh no.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to patch you guys back into the River's Edge Radio Network, where you get 24 hours of Pittsburgh-based music every day, 24 hours a day. Like I just said, catch us every Thursday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the River's Edge or on Facebook.com, where you can see the video. That's Facebook.com/Liss Victory Music, Liss Victory Music, like the kind you listen to with your ears or your heart and your soul. Yeah, and as always, remember to choose love, choose bravery, and